You know, running a business means facing risks. Some you see coming, and some, well, they come out of nowhere. But what if there was a single essential shield that could protect you from some of the most common accidents? Well, there is. It's called Commercial General Liability Insurance, or CGL, and we're about to demystify it for you.
Think about your business for a second. Whether you're pouring lattes or pouring concrete, it's a hub of activity, right? And all that activity, well, it comes with risks. I'm not talking about some huge dramatic market crash, but the small, everyday things that can sneak up on you and become a massive threat.
It's a really scary thought, isn't it? I mean, just one person slipping and falling, one accidental moment of damage. If you don't have the right protection, a simple, everyday mistake could spark a lawsuit that puts everything you've worked for on the line.
And look, these aren't just some made-up what-if scenarios. This is real life. A customer slips on a recently mopped floor. One of your employees is working at a client's house and accidentally breaks something really valuable. Or maybe you run a marketing campaign you thought was brilliant, but it turns out you accidentally used a copyrighted image. These are the exact situations that can lead to some truly devastating financial hits.
So, how in the world do you defend against these kinds of unpredictable nightmares? Well, you need a financial shield. And that is the perfect way to think about commercial general liability insurance. It's really the cornerstone of protection for pretty much any business out there.
So what is this stuff really? Put simply, CGL is an insurance policy built to protect your bank account when your business gets blamed for hurting someone, damaging their property, or even, believe it or not, causing harm with your advertising. It covers the financial fallout. I absolutely love this quote because it's so true. CGL isn't just another piece of paper. It's literally your first line of defense. When an unexpected lawsuit or a claim comes knocking at your door, this is the shield that stands between that problem and your business's finances.
All right, so we've established it's a shield, but what exactly is this shield made of? Let's peel back the layers and look at the key coverages that make up a standard CGL policy. First up, we've got bodily injury liability. This is probably one that immediately comes to mind for most people. It's designed to protect your business if someone, a customer, a delivery person, anyone who isn't an employee, gets physically hurt because of your business operations. Now, what's so powerful here is that it's not just for that classic slip and fall in your store. If a delivery driver gets hurt on your loading dock, that's covered. And here's the crucial part. It helps pay for the whole shebang: their medical bills, your legal fees to defend yourself, in any settlement you might have to pay.
Okay. Next up is property damage liability. This is the part of the shield that steps in when your business, well, accidentally breaks someone else's stuff. Just imagine, you're a contractor and your team accidentally puts a hole in a client's wall. Or maybe something even worse happens, like a small fire in your shop spreads to the building next door. This coverage is what handles the massive bill for those repairs or replacements, so it doesn't come out of your pocket.
Now, let's talk about a kind of injury that you can't see but can be just as costly. This is personal and advertising injury. And let me tell you, in today's world of social media and online marketing, this is absolutely critical. It protects you from claims like defamation or copyright infringement.
Right, and this is so important to get. Harm isn't always physical. So if someone accuses you of slander, or you accidentally use a copyrighted song in a promo video, this part of your policy is what helps cover the often huge legal costs that come with it.
And finally, there's this really clever little feature called medical payments coverage. You can think of it as a way to solve small problems before they explode into big lawsuits. It's designed to take care of minor injuries quickly, no matter whose fault it was.
Yeah, this is all about goodwill, really. A customer trips and sprains an ankle in your store. This coverage can step in and pay for their immediate doctor's visit, which can often just smooth the whole thing over right then and there.
Okay, so CGL is incredibly powerful. But it is not a magic wand. It doesn't cover everything. And honestly, understanding what your CGL policy doesn't cover is just as important as knowing what it does. Yeah, and this chart here lays it out perfectly. An employee gets hurt? Nope, that's not CGL. That's what workers' comp is for. You give some bad professional advice that costs the client money, you'll need professional liability for that. Get in an accident in the company van? That's a job for commercial auto. And this is a huge one today. CGL will not help you with a data breach. For that, you need a separate cyber liability policy. All right, we've talked about what it is and what it isn't. So let's get to the big question. What does this essential protection actually cost? What's the bottom line here?
For most small businesses, you're probably looking at a yearly premium somewhere in this ballpark. Now, of course, this is just an average. Your specific cost is going to depend on a few key factors.
So what makes that number go up or down? Well, it really boils down to these 4 things. Your industry is a huge one. A construction company is just riskier than a graphic designer working from home. Your annual revenue, the number of employees you have, and of course, your past claims history, it all goes into the mix to determine your final premium.
Okay, so now that you've got a handle on the coverage and the cost, what's next? How do you actually get this financial shield built and put in place for your own business?
It's actually pretty straightforward. Just follow these 3 steps. First off, you gotta figure out how much coverage you actually need. Second, and this is important, read the fine print and know the exclusions so there are no surprises. And third, and this is probably the most critical step, talk to an insurance professional. They're the experts who can help tailor a policy that fits your business perfectly.
And that brings us to a final thought to leave you with. Look, a CGL policy is absolutely the foundation of business protection. It's the bedrock that guards you against those physical world risks. But as we just saw, it doesn't cover everything, which leaves you with a really important question in today's world. Your physical shop is covered, but is your digital one?